Proposition 24 is meant to keep businesses out of your digital data.
2 years ago, state lawmakers passed what were supposed to be new cutting-edge privacy protections into law.
The initiative gives consumers the opportunity to opt out of data sharing, but it has a surprising list of opponents.
Most notably, Public Citizen and the ACLU, but another consumer watchdog supports it.
If this initiative actually achieves what it hopes to do, it could be an incredibly positive step towards getting us the freedom and safety we damn well deserve.
Well, it passed. What the fuck happens now? Over 56% of California residents voted to pass California Proposition 24, which, as we discussed in the previous video, expanded data privacy laws and closed some major loopholes that existed in its predecessor. This is my subtle way of telling you that if you haven't watched the previous video, it's time to go do that now. But even if you don't live in California, this ballot measure is super important to understand because it could very well indicate the future trajectory of the entire country and possibly even the globe. And if you do live in California, you better listen up because it's gonna affect you directly. Here's how. Prop 24, now passed, will establish a new law, the California Privacy Rights Act, which will close loopholes in the existing law, the California Consumer Privacy Act. How could you possibly confuse those two vastly different names? The California Privacy Rights Act is said to be based on the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, and currently represents the strongest data privacy law protection across the whole United States. Interestingly, despite being its major target, few tech giants actually came out in opposition to the measure, whether this was due to their COVID-related struggles, or the fallout of the DNC hack, or the Cambridge Analytica scandal, or the unmistakable consequences of their own algorithms as it manifested in the violence and derision leading up to and following the 2016 and 2020 elections. It seems Silicon Valley is ready for change. You may be surprised to learn that the biggest opposers of Proposition 24 were not tech giants themselves, but rather several consumer rights and privacy advocacy groups, like the ACLU and the Consumer Federation of California. But it's actually not that surprising when you consider what it was they objected to. A clause in the measure that allows companies to charge users more for their services if they opt out of data sharing. The CPRA also creates a new state agency to preside over the enforcement of the new rules it puts in place, but these consumer rights groups said it should have instead allowed private individuals to sue violating companies rather than leaving it to state officials. They also said the system should be opt-in rather than opt-out, so that out would be the default. While I can absolutely understand this, I think that the new regulations are something to be excited about, and I would worry that it's unrealistic to expect a private individual to have any chance against one of these tech giants in court. The new state agency becoming corrupt or colluding with a big tech giant against the best interests of consumers is a possibility and a risk, but consequently a strong board of advocates running the show would be hugely powerful and would allow private citizens not to have to spend tons of their own money and time to go to court against Facebook. I just don't think like take Twitter to court is within everybody's means. This law becomes enforceable in 2023 because that's when the new state agency gets created. In that time, these things are about to happen. 1. The governor, state attorney general, state senate rules committee, and speaker of the state assembly will appoint 5 board members to preside over this brand new state agency whose sole purpose is ensuring the new regulations are respected by corporations. The people who get appointed to this board are of huge importance because they basically hold the responsibility of deciding how the new regulations get interpreted, and that was something that was up for debate a lot in this bill because it is very long and a lot of people interpreted the languages in very different ways. They also have the job of actually enforcing them. Again, this new state agency comes into existence in 2023, so companies have until then to get their act together if they don't want to face punishment. We here at this channel, and you yourself by extension, will be keeping a close eye on who's being tapped, since in my opinion a majority of people with ties to big tech companies would basically render the entire bill useless. That said, if you hear anything, drop it in the comments, let everyone know. 2. A bunch of existing loopholes in the existing data privacy laws will get closed, including the clause that allows companies to sell your data for advertising purposes. This is great news because advertising is used as an excuse to gather and sell data by so many companies, and currently that practice is protected under the California Consumer Privacy Act, which is why the California Consumer Privacy Act was basically useless. 3. The tech industry, which has already been organically moving towards giving you more control and security, frankly, because you guys show your interest in that by watching content like this, so thank you, you did this, is gonna actively evolve to meet the new standards, which again become enforceable in 2023. Apple is already planning an iPhone software update that will let users opt out of their ad trackers, despite Facebook's whining about how that will make them poor. Browsers like Chrome, Safari, and Firefox are releasing similar tools, and Chrome is actually planning to take a phased approach to removing third-party cookies altogether, and they are proposing brand new technologies to, quote, handle various things that cookies are currently used for. I don't really know what that means. Sounds a little sketch to me, so we're gonna keep a close eye on that one. It eliminates the notice period of 30 days and mandates immediate penalties for any violation of a company. A company could be fined up to $2,500 for each violation, up to $7,500 for each violation involving a person under the age of 16, and up to $750 per consumer data breach incident or actual damages, whichever is greater. Because what we are hoping for, is that this will put more pressure on businesses to secure and monitor their environments, especially the ones that are hosting consumer data. I'm looking at you, AWS. But now we must come back to, as we inevitably always do, to the true key of this video. Tech companies doing shady shit. The biggest thing we need to be aware of in these next 2 years and beyond is the difference between restructuring and rhetoric. That is, the current system these companies are using needs to get torn down, but it also needs to not get replaced with something worse. Read the Verge article I've linked in the description on Google's plan to replace third-party cookies. It says these new technologies are supposed to make it easier for advertisers to target certain demographics without laser sighting down to specific people, and help provide some level of anonymous tracking so advertisers can know if their ads actually convert into sales. Google apparently wants to create a, quote, privacy sandbox, end quote, aka websites can still gather information on you, just not as much, and eventually they will hit a wall where the browser will cut them off. Not gonna lie, like, I still don't love that. It feels nebulous enough to still be exploited to me, but then again, this proposal isn't in reaction to Prop 24 specifically, just the societal pressures Google is up against more broadly right now. So maybe Google wouldn't even be able to make the privacy sandbox in California if that's the case. Like, one, yay, love the idea that Google is limiting sales of user data due to social pressure. That is the energy we love to see. Two, it just feeds my belief that Prop 24 could stand as an incredibly important blueprint for the rest of the country to use. It is so important that we continue to check in on its development because we have seen the power to shift its very direction. If it's going to be a blueprint, it becomes increasingly important that the structure should stand. Make sure you click subscribe to hear updates on this as we get them. Also, y'all know by now, but this video is made in partnership with Grizzly Information Security Solutions. They are a family-owned cybersecurity firm, which, if you didn't know, is incredibly unique and very powerful in the industry of cybersecurity. Part of what that means is you do not have to be a huge company to get protection. They are committed to protecting individuals, helping you evaluate your own cybersecurity, your digital footprint, going with you through all your social media, your online accounts, making sure everything is sealed up tight, advising you every step of the way on the best modern security solutions to keep you or your family or your business safe in your unique situation. If you've ever DM'd me or wanted to DM me worrying if you were hacked or wanted to know how to protect yourself, absolutely reach out to them. All their contact information is in the link in the bio of this video. They have incredibly reasonable pricing, and because they're family owned, they will treat you like family. And if you came from TikTok or the Discord server, or if you are subscribed to this YouTube channel, this special hello is for you. I love y'all. Stay safe. Till next time. Electrified, dance of danger in the sheets, requirement unsatisfied. Come and jailbreak me, come and set me free. Holy shit. I haven't worn black lipstick since college. Well, I guess college wasn't really that long ago. God damn it, I forgot to press this button. Hang on 1 second. Okay, now we have audio. Yeah, fun. I haven't worn black lipstick in a while, and I forgot how much it was like, oh god, not a fucking phase, mom. Bro, why am I so pale? Like, I put on black lipstick and now it's like someone just desaturated that human being. Like, anyway, I've been talking a lot today, so my voice is like very choke me like you hate me but you love me.